Good morning and welcome to Better Thyself segment of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. A couple of days back, I was talking to a friend and the question arose how to take a decision. And I told very clearly that I believe in gut decisions, that the instinctive decision that you come at first, where there's no logic, no reasoning, but it's just a voice of your subconscious. That is the ideal decision. And any decision can have a negative impact or a positive impact. It can have negative results or a positive result, but normally the decision that you take as a result of your gut feeling is correct and the long run justified. Immediately they may not be benefit as you envisage as you proper. Unfortunately, what happens is that majority of the human beings do not know what gut feeling is, and they don't know whether their gut is speaking or not. Gut feeling is like the whisper of a wind, which gives a minor rustle to the leaves, and people who are sitting under a tree cannot even listen to that rustle. They are so absorbed in other things. Till it's windy or stormy, they cannot see the wind is there. A wind moving at the speed of 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers would make waves to very low in volume, and most of the people would not appreciate that. By appreciation, I mean they would not be able to understand. Similarly, gut feeling is a subtle nuance which comes and goes. The moment your gut feeling comes, and at the same time, simultaneously, the memories, the hoard of memories and lessons that you have learned and you should not have learned, the lessons you have learned and you should have forgotten, come rushing back to you and smother the voice of the gut. As I said, it's very cool, very calm, very quiet. And you can listen to it provided you are properly attuned to it. Otherwise, your learning, your experience, the sayings of your parents, your teachers, your community leaders, they simply overwhelm you. And now you would see is a crucial part. I call it a 90% rule. Many times you would see that even your gut feeling gives conflicting opinion. Do it, but there's no word but after that. It's dot, 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 dot. So how to go ahead? First, you have got to attune yourself. You have got to discipline yourself. You have got to train yourself to listen to your gut, to listen to your instinct, to listen to that very low key voice hidden in the depths of your mind, which props up and says, and the moment there is opposition, it dies a natural death. So first you have got to train yourself to listen to that voice. And then the subtle nuances on that voice have to be comprehended. Now I was talking of the 90% rule. It's very simple. When your gut feeling, the nuance is above 90%, do it. Give it not a second thought. If it is 75%, do it, but keep your options open. It's a 50%, don't do it. Whether to take up a new job or not. If the gut says do it, you're getting maybe low salary than your expectation, go ahead and take it up. You want to go where? To go or to stay at home? 50%, don't go. Simple. Staying at home is an option because you're already at home. Going out is a decision. So don't do that. And you would say that how is that one can be sure of 90%, 75%, 50%? Now here is again a very subtle thing. The moment alternatives are given, the first choice which comes to you without any prompting, without any external pressure, without the impact of what you have been taught, that is the decision you should take. Now, many times, even if you want these external impacts, influences would be there, and they would matter. You cannot deny it. Say, let's take up a crucial question. People often at your age want a job, want to change a job, want a new job. The offer comes to you. Should I take up the new job or not? It has no connection with your experience. But challenges there. So your gut feeling may be take up a job. But since you have not fully understood the subtle difference, the subtleties of nuances of difference between your gut and your teachings that have been drilled into you, you would say, well, I'm in a bigger company. Well, I'm settled here. If I take up a new job, I'll have to relocate, possibly. I have established comfort zone here with my friends. I go to a new place, maybe the people don't like me or I don't like them. All these questions would arise. And you would be bamboozled. But still, if your gut feeling is strong enough, it means 90%. Go ahead and do it. But suppose there's a quietude from the gut. It doesn't prompt you again. That means no, don't do it. So you have to weight on a scale of percentages. I can't say from 0 to 10 as the doctors usually say when you're in a pain. Rate your pain on 0 to 10. No. You have got to, as a matter of fact, you have got to weigh your instinct with logic, with teaching, with practicality. And if your instinct is 90%, do not even think again. Do the job. That's your final decision. Excuse me. Now the question arises, why 90% is absolute yes, and why 50 and less is absolute no? The reason is that when your instinct is very strong, and even the unlearnable lessons you have learned, which you should never have learned, as I started at the beginning, then you have an inner strength to face the results, the consequences of your decision, and you are successful automatically. Whether you want it or you don't want it, once your instinct says, your whole body's metabolism would be geared to make you successful. If it's ambivalent, you're not sure whether to do it or not, you're in a dithering state, you are in an indeterminate state, then you would never be able to do it. When Paul Martin became the Prime Minister of Canada, I used to call him the dithering Prime Minister because he could never take a decision. So I termed him a dithering Prime Minister. Then the term was taken up by others. The moment there is confusion, dithering, and no firm commitment, the results cannot be good. And therefore, 90% rule, I follow it. And I have seen that I have never failed in 77 years of my life. But whenever, a couple of times it did happen, I did not follow the voice of my conscience. I took decisions more under the pressure of outside agencies, and the results were not very happy ones. I was still successful, but not as successful as I am in the habit of being. So, weigh the decision. First, when your conscience tells you, that is there. Now, the external forces, you weigh them, and the weighing should be a weighted average you have to take, as a matter of fact. Give 90% weightage or 80% weightage to your conscience, 20% weightage to your experience, your expectations, your social support group, your family, your wife, your pet. All that is 20%, 80% is this. If together they come to 90 and 90 plus, do it. If together they come to 75, think again, list on the pros and the cons, and then take a decision. If it's 50% or 60% or less than that, put that decision in a waste paper basket. And be sure whatever decision you take, in majority of those situations, you would find that your decision in the long run has been correct. So when my friend asked me the explanation of this 90% rule a couple of days back, I explained the same way, and then the friend asked me why not I discuss it, and here I am. Now, there's one thing you have got to keep in mind. You have got to discipline your mind. You have got to discipline your way of thinking so that you hear the very soft voice inside you. Your conscience is a constable inside you, but this constable doesn't have handcuffs. It doesn't have loud whistles. It has very soft tone, more like a caress of a petal of a rose against your skin. You may feel it if you are sensitive. You may not feel it if if your skin is desensitized. So develop the sensitivity to listen to your conscience, to your voice. Follow that. And that plus 20% of your learning, your experience, your sport group. Take the weighted average, and your decision would not go wrong. And you will be bettering yourself. Thank you.